how did you know that you were ready to leave your job and get into freelancing?
I am not a natural risk taker. I was not born that way, nature, nurture. And I had all the what ifs, like, what if we can't pay the bills? What do I do about insurance? What do I do about like 401k and retirement and all? Because my husband is also an entrepreneur, I should say that. So like I was the stable
Okay.
one. So I'm like, how do I stable, air quotes, stable one? I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I possibly leave my job? And so for me, I actually
Yeah.
did not make the leap into self-employment until I hit rock bottom. And for me, what that looked like in 2015, it was 2015, was I had a miscarriage. It was very unexpected. Our pregnancy was unexpected. We had kind of just gotten to the point of like excitement. I'm not going to lie. Like at first we were a little like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But then it was like, you get used to it and you start talking about names and you start falling in love. And I
Yes.
went to an appointment. I had no idea anything was wrong. I'd been throwing up like 3 times a day. So I'm like, okay, hormones are in check. Like we're not feeling good. And it was actually my first time going to this OBGYN. And the first thing this poor woman ever had to tell me was that I had lost the baby. It was a horrific moment in my life.
Oh
But I remember
no.
going home that day, just cried in bed for the rest of the day, made a decision that I did want to have a D&C procedure rather than wait for it to happen naturally, which they said could have taken weeks given where I was at. And that just, I felt like that was too big of an open loop for me. So we scheduled a surgery for the next day. That was a Saturday. I literally walked in and quit my job the next week because in that moment of loss, I heard a voice. Not like a crazy person, although maybe a little bit crazy, but whether God, universe, intuition,
Yeah.
something, but something reached rock bottom where it said, what the heck are you going to do now? Like, when are you going to start living your life? Like, don't make this not
Whoa.
mean something, And it was loud and it was powerful. And so I think in that moment, I got fed up. I got fed up with playing it safe. I got fed up with choosing to stay stuck rather than doing something about it. And so I walked in and I gave my notice. And I don't want to say like I never looked back. I mean, I didn't ever go back to work. But for
Yeah.
me, again, I think so much of my story as I'm talking to you is like, it's a journey in learning to trust yourself
Hmm.
because I trusted that even if I quit my job, I have something to offer. I am hireable. I can find a new job. Like I'm very blessed to have family that can help us if we are like in a dire like I had this trust of like,
So
I have
good.
to take this leap.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I have options. Like I have myself and I'm going to trust that I'm the type of person that's going to do whatever it takes to figure it out. It sounds so weird to say because I don't think we hear a lot of women having this conversation, but like I could cry thanking 2015 Lauren. Like I could, like the former version of myself who looks so different than this version you see sitting here. Like a lot of people
Wow.
are like, you come across really confident. And I'm like, yeah, I earned this. Like I earned it with
Mm.
experience. I earned it with personal development and like learning to accept my strengths and my weaknesses, like rather than beating myself up over stuff. But like 2015 Lauren, she wasn't there yet. She took a really big leap. And I am just so grateful that for that experience and knowing that like that baby's life, even though it was short, was so meaningful. It not only changed the trajectory of my life, but now literally tens of thousands of women because of everything that came after that. And it's just, I don't know, it's so emotional for me to think about, how different everything would look right now without that experience.
That is so incredible to hear, Lauren, that you took a moment of grief and something that could really have crippled you in
It
so many
did
ways. And
briefly. It did.
yeah, I
It
mean, I
did.
mean, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
understandably, but you could have
Yeah.
stayed there. You
For
could have
sure.
stayed there, you
For
know?
sure.
Um, but I just think it's incredible that you didn't you found the grace within yourself to take that and make something of your life and make it have meaning. And I just think that is so beautiful.